Hey everybody, I'm back today for Cut to You. I'm going to be using this beautiful rose garden frame cut file, and I'm going to be using lots of different papers from Mintopia's collection, Petaloose. And I got this kit at Click Kits International, if you are interested. So I backed the cut file with all the different kinds of papers. I backed the leaves with vellum and then the flowers with some of the patterns. Grabbed some coordinating ink colors, and I'm just going to lightly ink the middle of all of these flowers just to give them a little bit of depth and dimension, a little pop of color. So I used Serene, Sparkling Berry, and Cove Blue, and I just inked up the centers of the flowers. I thought this gave it a really kind of fun, highlighted look, kind of made those flowers pop up. And then I love the transparency of the vellum behind the leaves. I also grabbed my Morning Dew Nuvo Drops. Morning Dew Nuvo Drops are completely clear. They dry clear. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in some of the centers of my flower. And this is just going to provide a little bit of gloss to the centers and a little more interest to the cut file. I want to use this gorgeous wood grain for my background. So I'm just going to place the cut file on it. Make sure there's enough kind of contrast. Now, I've decided that I want to put splatters behind my cut file. I also went through this kit and I've chosen the elements I think I'm going to use on my layout. I want to make sure my photo is going to fit into this frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab an X-Acto knife. I'm going to kind of make a little cut around the corners just so I know where I need to trim it. And then so I have something that's like a nice straight trim. I'm just going to find those cuts that I made with the X-Acto knife and trim nice and straight right along those little lines that I've made. And then I'm going to have a photo that will fit. I think I trimmed one more side maybe. Yeah, just a little bit off the other side. And that helped my photo to fit. When you're choosing a photo or you want to put a photo in a frame cut file, always make that cut file as big as you can. And then find a photo that has a little bit of white space, a photo where the person is kind of, there's a little bit of a background there that you know you can trim a bit off. And that will help you get a nice fit to your frame. So I just put some tape runner around the edges and I'm going to line up that. And then I know that I've got my photo in place and ready to go on my layout. I'm going to use my Spiegel Mom Scraps Big Mama foam tape. So this layout is the layout where I totally finished this whole roll of foam tape, and I had to go get a new one. But I'm going to pop the photo and the entire cut file up with the foam tape, and this really helps to cast some shadows, and it makes the vellum that is backing the leaves a little bit more prominent and noticeable. It is not time to stick this photo down yet though. Just going to get it positioned where I think I want it. And you know, I just used those planks of the wood grain to help me know where I needed to splatter. So we are going to splatter like there is no tomorrow. I'm starting with Moody Mauve. I am splattering a lot because I want the splatter to come up behind the cut file, and it's going to look like a gigantic mess, but then once I put my photo and the cut file down, you'll see how the splatters just kind of come out of certain areas. So I'm using from Shimmer's Moody Mauve, Sweetheart, Glory's Days, and then I have some Ranger gloss spray in white. So the pink and the purple, the mauve and the sweetheart, I'm trying to get them so that it's splattered underneath where the mauve, that mauve-y purple colored flower is, and then where the pink flower is. And again, over splatter. You want to splatter like there is no tomorrow, because once you put that cut file down, most of what you splattered is going to be covered up. So once I have all the pink splattered, you can see I was really going for the pink here. I liked the way it looked. I knew there was a lot of pink flowers in that area of the cut file, and I was like, this is cool. Really liked that. A little bit more purple. And then some gold. This is Glorious Days, my favorite gold spray. It's fabulous. And I'm just going to go ahead and, again, super splatter that around. You can never have too much gold, especially in a layout where you are documenting an adorable photo of your gorgeous niece. So I did splatter with the white, but it didn't even show up at all. Like, it was just it blended in too much with the background paper. I was wondering if it was going to do that when I chose it, but I thought I'd give it a try and see what I got, and you can't even really tell it's there at all. So next up, I wanted to put a strip of this gorgeous purple paper at the top and bottom of my layout to kind of frame things in a little bit. Love this shade of purple in this collection. So pretty. So I'm just going to do those two little strips and then adhere my photo and my cut file down. You can see me kind of pulling up some of those vellum backed leaves just to really get some of the depth and dimension. Now I have a whole bunch of die cuts. So this sampler kit, which I will pop it in the description box down below if it's still available at Click International. This kit is jam-packed. It is so big, but it is so beautiful. So I have all of these gorgeous die cuts. I went through them and I just pulled out the ones that I thought went with my colors or design. And there were a couple, as I was going through all the die cuts, there were a couple that I knew like right away where I wanted to put them. So I am just going to kind of go through all of these different elements and find good spots for them. I know that I want to put a little bit something in the upper left-hand corner. And what I decided to do is I decided to go with this pink circle with the gold foil silhouette on top. The gold foil silhouette is of a girl, and it just worked really well with my photo and the design. And I do have that gold splatter in the back, so adding that extra little pop of gold worked really well. And then I backed it with that pink circle, mostly because the pink circle is in a different language. So if I remember correctly, Mintopia is in Spain, so I think it might be Spanish. I hate to like say that and be wrong, but if I am remembering correctly. So now I am taking all these flowers. So I intentionally grabbed any kind of little like sprigs of flowers that were in the die cut pack. I'm not going to use all of these, but I did end up using quite a few. And so what I'm doing is I'm going around my popped up cut file and I'm just tucking the die cuts in. So I'm just tucking them underneath so that it kind of makes this floral area look really, really full and kind of fills it out. It also adds just a lot of really great detail. The flowers are small, but they're also very detailed. So kind of tucking them in and around, I think it looked beautiful. Loved it. Once I had everything in place and where I want it, I very carefully started to kind of glue it all down. I did add some hemp cord to that tag so we didn't have any naked holes. And now I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing. I'm going to pop up the little silhouette girl, and I'm going to go ahead and just tuck all of these things in and around my cut file. The last little thing I wanted to add was my title. So I'm going with something super simple. It is not creative at all. I'm just going to title this page Sweet Girl. And I'm going to use, so I have a rule with multicolored letter stickers. First of all, I kind of shy away from them. Don't use them very often. But when I do, we can go one of two ways. We either do all the same color or we do all different colors. So for this one, we're going to go with all different colors. I kind of thought I could do all the same color, as you can see there where I put girl, but it wasn't going to work. So then I kind of changed my mind, moved all of them around, and ended up with a multicolored title. I did try to keep to the colors that were in my layout, so I kind of shied away from the green because there isn't a lot of green in that layout, and I stayed away from the yellow too. So one last peek at all the products I have off to the side for my project. Just taking a look, kind of deciding if I want to add anything more. I kind of start to put stuff away too when I do that because I want to think about it a little bit. And then I'm just going to go ahead and kind of trim off that overhanging bit of circle. And that's where we're going to call this layout done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed this process, and I hope that you'll take a peek into your cut file stash, see if you have anything fun that you can frame a photo with, and then add lots of extra detail to the page. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.